Richfield, North Carolina. And I appreciate you guys asking me down here. As Ed was saying, I have not been turning long. I've been, come next month, it'll be 2 years. And I'm just excited about turning. And I do get catches, and you'll probably see some catches tonight. What I like to use is the skew. And the reason I like using it is because it does so much. You can make beads with it, you can make codes with it, you can plane a little piece down, and we do a lot of demos. We love going out doing demos for kids. And the less times I have to go grab another tool, the better I like it. Now my first class was with Nick Cook, and he told me if I learned how to use the skew, I wouldn't have any problems with the rest of them. So, if someone tells you to take the skew and throw it in the garden, that's, you know, just use it. They make it for a reason. It does real smooth finishes if you don't have a catch. And if you have a catch, you just make it smaller. And I'm going to show you. You know, this one, it starts out big, and then you have a catch, and then it goes that big. Okay, and then you have a catch, and it gets that big. This is what I'm demoing. I'm demoing the acorn box. And what influenced me was Roland. We were just starting out. I was just starting out, and Roland was making these little acorns, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought it'd be neat to make a little box. Now I am not an expert or anything like that, but I do have fun turning, and I hope everybody has fun turning. And if you have a catch, you just go on and have some more fun, because it's going to happen. The process started with, I own my own business, so I have a lot of people tell me I cannot do things. So one of the first things I was told was the skew's no good, and then you can't turn oak. So I wanted to put those two together. So I turned oak, and I turned it with the skew. Now the inside, if I could, I would have turned that with the skew, but I couldn't get there. But that was the oak one. And I burned the band on this just to try to give it some pizzazz. And then I bought this knurling tool, which I never used. I mean, you know, when you first get into this stuff, you're buying all these tools, which I never used. And I started playing around with it. And then I started putting little edges on the side just to kind of rough it up a little bit. Well, you couldn't see it much, so I went to the next stage and I torched it. And I just thought that looked pretty good. So, but there's a number of blocks over there that the club can have, and you can make the same things. There's some ebony over there. I brought some oak too. But, well, the first thing we're going to do, this is a piece of pink ivory. And I've never turned pink ivory before. I've been holding this board for a long time. So I hope it turns good. I'm sure it will. It's pretty oily, so I think
you're gonna like it.
This will be the cap of the acorn box. And what we're going to do is just turn this down a little bit. If I was in my shop, I just usually chuck it up. But
scared.
As you can tell, I'm a little nervous.
I'll ask a new guy question while you're doing that. Is the skew beveled on both sides?
Yes. Mine is, yeah.
I guess it'd be a scraper if it was only on one side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I like to sharpen them real good.
This is for Eddie.
It's just as sharp as you can make it. That's how sharp I like it.
You have that on yours?
I like to plane it down with the skew. What we're going to do is make a tenon on this. Okay. It's a dovetail. And you can make a tenon with the skew. Okay. Then we're going to put it in a chuck.
What a chuck is that?
I don't know.
Nick Mark.
This is a borrowed chuck.
Okay.
I have a Powermatic, and I'm really used to mine, so that and I have a little mini jet, which we burn it out Saturday. So I love making things for the kids, like my little tops. Of course, I used Charlotte Clove's Powermatic, and I broke it too. I was turning hats over there at the merchandise mart. You can take this skew and you can cut it on this side, you can cut it on that side. I like starting out with the heel. Bringing it up. But you can see the smooth finish it leaves.
You're running pretty fast, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not running as fast as I normally run. I kind of really dog it. When I make the top, I just kind of, there's no certain size to these things, so it's just whatever you want to make it. It's an acorn. riding the bevel with the skew too. Just like any other tool. What's nice to see is the young guys in here wanting to learn. That's they're the group I'm after, because I wish someone would have showed me this years ago. Okay, that's the top. On the inside of the cap, we've got to make a ledge. Well, that sounds good. Now this one might not happen like that, but we're going to make a ledge right here, and I don't hollow the whole thing out. I use my skew for all this, and I kind of like the detail at the point. To me, it looks good. So we're going to come in here. I'm pushing a little bit hard. That's what I thought. Now you want it parallel. So what I do is I line it up to the bed. But you notice the skew's that angle. And then kind of just straighten it out. So here's just kind of like stripping it this way. Well, it is cutting it. It's real sharp. Yeah, I got it tilted a little bit, so if I scrape, you're going to see the dust. But this is real sharp. I mean, it's you don't get as many catches if it's sharp. I mean, it's got to be razor sharp. I usually try to do a mirror finish on them. And see, I won't take this back to my grinder for a long time. This is all you need.
You know what green that is?
It's red and blue. Blue's coarse, red's fine. What I do, it's from my grinder, it's already coated in here a little bit because of the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get ready to sharpen it, I run it next to the, right here and to the top, and then turn it around, and it'll stay sharp. That's how, and then when it gets off being true, like by the end of the month, I take it back up to the grinder. Because I start ending up rounding this off a little bit, and you know, I'm turning. That's all I want to do. I mean, I try to take this nub past the little ledge. Okay. Now what we want to do is we're going to put some texture But that's okay, I'm having fun. Okay, I didn't explain this. This needs to be true. And I trued it up when we started. So that's running true. Now I've just started using this gnarling tool, I guess that's what you call it, the texturing tool. And I'm kind of learning that you need to slow it down a little bit. And all we're going to do is this plate right here rests on this, on the tool rest. And we're just going to come in here and give it a little bit of texture. One thing good about this is you don't have to sand it. Like I said, I ain't heard ivory before, so. Feels like it's gnarling it up a little bit. It's done a little bit of gnarling. That's what I call it. Whoops, I'm sorry. The next thing I want to do.
You did that on purpose.
Is you want to make sure you don't have any shavings. And we're going to just torch it. We're not going to set it afire, hopefully. We just want to add some color to it. That's it. And then what I've been doing is I got a
question.
Go ahead.
Does that pink ivory come from pink elephants?
I think so. I know it was $20 for that much. Now, I've turned some ivory before, and that's some nice stuff. Okay, so I brushed the charcoal off of it. Next thing I like to do is, Jack introduced me to this wire. And like we go out on demos. So we were at the fair and I fell in love with this wire. You learn so much going out. And I mean, we just have a ball. And what you want to do is you want to just lay it up there till it starts smoking. And that just gives me a detail line to go by. And it's beginning to do a little bit of forming. Supposed to cut the lathe off. Everybody know that? You saw me cut it off, didn't you?
You won't get a catch burning with wire. That's why I like it.
Yeah. Well, I told myself I come here, I said, man, I'm going to try the skew, but we might have to use something else. I just want to round this off a little bit more. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Go in that way, you can take the point in this way. It's just whatever you want to do. to me, you just use the tool what's comfortable to you. I'm not going to do a whole lot of sanding. I know you guys don't like sanding. Watch anybody sand. But this is on the inside. This is pink ivory, so I need to kind of make it look good. We had a demo at our club from Gary Gardner, and I had the pleasure of going to Campbell School, and Gary was one of the instructors, and I am not used to a clean shop. And all this is a little bit of lacquer and some lacquer thinner. Okay, that's all that is. But Gary did a lidded bottle for us, and I just thought that was so neat. And the challenge of we like to kind of do challenges. The challenge was for all the club members to make one. So, and anybody can make this too. You don't have to do it with a skew. To me, it's just good practice. Okay, we got the inside done. Or as inside as we're going to do it. Still don't. The heel of this skew is dull. You just don't want to cut.
Looks like you're shaving a peach. Huh? Looks like you're shaving a peach.
And I use a parting tool. I mean, you can cut it off with the skew, but the way you use the parting tool, you lift up, that's how you cut it off. Okay. So this is the top. And there's $2. I guess that's probably $6. Okay, the next piece is the bottom. And this is African blackwood. And I bought this at the symposium in Richmond on a Sunday. I don't know, has anybody went to a symposium yet? No one's went to, man. You get a lot of deals at these things on a Sunday because they do not want to pack the stuff up.
Right there, Jerry.
And I bought a bunch of it. This is my hammer. Now if the bottom goes as good as the top, gonna be doing good. We're gonna do this the same way. We're gonna clean it up. Okay, we're at, according to this, we're at 1900 RPM. A little bit slower than the 3000. This is a real pretty wood. Okay, I got a little dovetail on it.
What's the appropriate thing to say when you drop your skew on the cement floor?
Oh,
You're on
can't
tape.
say it on video.
Yeah, that makes company.
When I, my first class I took at, I'm kind of ignorant with a lot of things, but my first class at Campbell, Dick Singh, he makes Christmas ornaments and stuff. And he had some books, and he describes things as aw shit. And, you know, I read the book, and I didn't know what it meant until I took his class.
Is this
So I do a lot of them.
Is this over in Brasstown?
Yeah. Yeah, if that is such a neat place to go. And when my wife said I could go, I went. Okay. Okay, this is a dovetail. It has dovetail jaws. Mine has straight, so I think they say these things are stronger. So we'll find out. Okay. First thing we got to do is we want to get it to that point right there. So we got a long ways to go. Now let me get my calipers. See, I learned a lot of things since I've started. I never knew these things existed. I have a drywall and tile business, so I never needed anything like that. And Roland's kind of straightened me out on some of these tools.
Tried. Yeah.
Trying. They're trying.
You get that drywall within a quarter of an inch, you're real proud of yourself.
Man, yeah. If I can get it where I don't have to sand, I'm happy. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I went deep enough on that one now. Okay. With the calipers, you only want to touch one side. Here lately I've been touching both sides, so cross your fingers. You want to get close to where you're Okay, that's pretty close. Close as I want to get.
Would you explain that? I've been using calipers for a lot of years, but I don't know what you just did.
You don't know what I did? Okay. What I did is I measured this on the inside. Okay, I want to bring this down to fit in this.
Yeah.
So I took the left side and I held it up here. The first mark didn't line up to that one.
Okay.
So I moved it over a little bit till it lined up, but I'm not touching it.
Okay.
So that is the thickness that I'm looking for. And we're going to get it close. You guys watch me turn that one off too, didn't you? Okay, back to the skew. I wasted some wood. Vibrating a little bit. I think one reason because it's sticking out a good ways. I'm not putting that much pressure on it. You want to just ease up to your mark. Pretty close.
You're not worried that's going to seize? You're not worried that's going to seize?
No, because I know I got it too big right now.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it smoking? It was burnishing that wood right there. Okay, she's getting pretty close. But I don't know if you can see, this is angled. This tenon's angled just a little bit. And I'm getting pretty close to where it was burnishing. What we want to do is get this thing pretty well tight. And if I don't make it, I still got more wood to play with. There's a tape out that Richard Raffin, and that's a good tape to get.
You mean a tape to look at?
Yeah, tape to look at. Okay, now we're gonna, I think I still gotta cut a little bit more off. Remember, it's just firewood. This is designer firewood. It's already black.